Well, all right, Mr. Lucario. I see you, my brother. I see you. Let's go ahead and get into this review. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion for my movie review for Game Kings, the definition of game. And if this is your first time finding me and you happen to like this video, please give me that thumbs up and consider subscribing. So you heard me mention Mr. Lucario, and I've known of this gentleman for quite some time to a degree. He is a YouTuber like myself and has over 50,000 subscribers. And he can be described as a life coach, someone that can give you dating advice, or just if you want to win in life, especially if you want to talk to women. He also has been on VH1, Fuse, The Dish Network, TLC, ABC Family, The Tyra Banks Show, and Anderson Cooper, and a number of other programs. And like I said, I've heard of him for quite some time because I listen to Tariq Nasheed as well. And every time Tariq Nasheed has a live broadcast, at the very beginning, he has about 5 or 10 minutes where he's promoting ads, and I will always hear Mr. Lucario's ad being promoted on his channel. And just one day, I was just doing my thing, and I came across his trailer for his documentary film, Game Kings, The Definition of Game, and I checked it out. And guys, to be honest with you, I was a bit turned off from the trailer, and I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this film. I'm probably going to review it, but let me check out the trailer first. When I checked it out at first, it did turn me off. And one of the reasons why is it is a rated R trailer. It is a red band trailer, and there were just a few lines of dialogue in the trailer that did rub me the wrong way. However, you can't just always judge a book by its cover. So I was checking out some of Mr. Lucario's broadcasts, and to be honest, I liked a lot of what the brother had to say. And I'm not going to say I agree with everything that he had to say, and everybody doesn't agree with me as well. That's normal, but it was brought to my attention that there was a green band trailer. I did check that out. It piqued my interest, and I said to myself, hey, why not? Go ahead and check this out, give it a try. Like I said, don't judge a book by its cover, and I did. And guys, I have to say, I really, really liked it. I really did enjoy this, and I'm glad I watched it. And if you want to know what Game Kings, the definition of game, is about, it's really focused on, it's 7 gentlemen throughout this series here. Well, not series, but movie. The runtime is about 2 hours and 18 minutes, and they're each giving their own perspective and their experiences when it comes to women on how it can help men navigate through life and be able to talk to women. Now, I will say this, you're probably thinking like, oh man, this is some type of movie that's trying to, about a bunch of pimps, and they're trying to teach you how to pimp hoes and manipulate women and lie to women and, a bunch of pickup lines. No. That is not what this documentary film is about at all. And I even talk down on that type of behavior. And that is one of the things that did impress me the most when I was watching this film. It's described as, it's funny. It's a comedic, raunchy, unapologetic telling, from these men's perspective. And guys, I have to be honest with you. I really did enjoy it, and I think you will too if you take a chance to check it out. One of the other things that I really like about this film is how it's chopped up. It is divided into 5 sections. You have the definition of game, attraction, manhood, the misconception of game, and last but definitely not least, confidence, because you have to have confidence if you want to be able to talk to any type of woman. If you don't have I don't care who you are, whatever. If you're not confident when you approach a woman, you're not going to get any play. And when I say play, I'm not just talking about sex. I mean, just, being, acquainted with a woman, going on a date, wanting to be in a relationship with them, a lifelong relationship with them, marriage. You have to be able to be confident or it's just not going to work out. And these gentlemen do give you some advice to go about that, to accomplish your goal and to seize the day as far as that's concerned. And while this film is very raunchy and comedic, it's also very mature as well. I mean, I don't care who you are. I don't care how successful you are in whatever field, especially when it comes to women. If you do watch this, I guarantee you will walk away with some knowledge that you did not have before. The production of this documentary film is great as well. I mean, this is an independent production, but it can compete, with the bigger productions out there. And I say that with true confidence. And I really love the intro of this film. In the first section, they talk about is the definition of game and what that means exactly. And what that means is just the way you navigate through life. And I love the way one brother summed it up. And that's just your strategy on how you go about things. I mean, say, for instance, everybody has to have a job in some capacity. You have to have some type of income to survive. And so if you have a scheduled interview, okay, you don't just go in there blind and wing it. I mean, sometimes you may be able to do that and it works. Hey, more power to you. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But for the most part, people have a strategy. They have a game plan. They have bullet points that they want to hit. They have ways in where they practice in the mirror to answer these interview questions so they can put their best foot forward so the recruiter can see them in the best light so they can get the job. If you're in competition sports, you study the opponent because you want to win. At the end of the game, you want to have the most points on the board. That's the way you navigate through life. And that is their definition of game, or at least just one gentleman. Like, how are you going to approach the situation? How are you going to come out on top? Not to take advantage of anything, but to win, to seize the day, like I said. And I have to be honest, I can only respect that. And I love the way they displayed that in this film, and the way they articulated it as well was very nice. It was very, very mature. It was some things that I've known. I'm like, okay, yes, that's true. I've seen that work in my experience, and there were some things that I've never heard before. And I'm like, I like that point that this brother or brothers made. They're kind of hitting it out the park right here. So I love the very beginning of this, especially. And when it comes to attraction, there was one gentleman that they kept naming, a black bald dude. I think Boris Kojo, that, maybe one or two of them kept bringing up in this. And guys, we know that attraction is important. For the most part, nobody wants a slop bucket. But even if you do look like Jabba the Hutt and you don't catch that reference, that is a Star Wars reference of some alien fat slot beast that just looks completely repulsive. If you have the right confidence, if you have the right strategy, you still can come out on top. Yes, if you are attractive, that can take you to the next level, but that's not necessarily the case all the time. I mean, you can still win if you're not attractive, and I like how they touched on all those points right there. And also attraction, is in the eye of the beholder. And so I like how they address that as well. I mean, even if you are attractive to 10 people over here, you may not be attractive to these 3 people over here. Well, hey, just run with the crowd that finds you attractive, and then you'll win. And you still may even be able to get these people over here when they see you winning over here. I mean, come on, I think we've all been there before, and that works, and I like the way that was depicted in this. I mean, it was pretty dope. And again, I have to reiterate, this is not a film about how to manipulate women. It is not a film about how to lie to women or trick women or take advantage of women. There is nothing like that in this documentary film. This is about you being true to yourself and being honest with yourself and being able to look in the mirror and say, hey, I have to be honest with myself. Am I winning or losing? Where do I need to step up my game? What do I need to improve? How do I make the best version of myself to come out on top? And like I said, they even talk down on men that try to manipulate women, that are not honest with women. There was even a section where they talked about masturbation, just like, hey, of course, everybody masturbates a little bit here and there, but they'll just say, hey, man, don't masturbate too much. You have to have control over that. And even when it comes to sex, everybody wants to have sex. Of course, men want to have sex, but we all know that women want to have sex more than men, especially when they get older. And they let you know, like, sometimes you have control over that. You know what I'm saying? Don't just be a whore out there and, sports fucking all the time, because that's not cool too. They actually talked on men that just want to sleep with everybody all the freaking time, and I was like, yo, this is pretty cool right here. And, not all of them spoke on this. Some of them, they did mention that they are married. And that's cool too. So it probably all like, oh, well, they have all this game and they're saying this, where's their women? Where's their wives? Or where's their family? Well, they did address that as well. And these men admit that they're not perfect either. They even said themselves that there was a time where they had to go through trial and error periods just to get it right. And also a section that I loved is like, You know, just because one thing works for a certain guy does not mean that it's going to work for somebody else. I mean, you have to find your own way to navigate, you know, through life. And I know I keep saying that, but, you know, it just really hits home. And one of the sections is called the misconception of game, because when you hear the word game, you may automatically think like, oh, wait a minute, game? I don't play games. I want to be upfront and truthful with whoever I'm engaging with. And no, there's game, that's knowing who you are, being confident, having those right social skills to navigate. And then there's playing games. They talk down on playing games and wasting people's time. That's whack. That's for stupid people. They don't want any part of that. So that is just a misconception right there. When you hear game, it's not about playing games. Like I said for the umpteenth time, it's not about manipulating anybody. You know, game is just another word for strategy. It is another word for a plan. And there's also, like, they talk about how there's just no true formula to this. You know, I mean, you just have to know you and go with the flow. There's no magic pill to where, okay, if I do this or say these type of things right here, you know, the woman is going to want to date me, or the woman is want to spend time with me or sleep with me or whatever. No. It's nothing like that. I mean, they do talk down on all of those negative stereotypes. And that's just another thing that I do respect. There's a section where they talk about pimping and all lifestyles and the pros and cons of that. There was one gentleman that spoke on that. There's also just, you know, never pretend to be something that you're not. Always be up, true, and honest. They had a section that are talking about marriage as well. And the last section they talk about is confidence. They really hit the nail in the coffin right there, because that is just like one of the most important things right there. And they also talked about how you always can't be in your feelings. They talk about masculinity and toxic masculinity and crybabies. And are you able to perform? And if you're not able to perform, are you able to be honest with yourself? Because, you know, if you can't see it, I mean, what do you got? And it was this one brother, he said exactly, do what's necessary to advance your quality of life. Trust and rely on your own purpose to make shit happen. You know, that was just, you know, super dope right there. You know, and I really did enjoy this. You know, it's very educational. It's very funny. It is very raunchy and unapologetic. But overall, guys, it is entertaining. And I think that if you are a man and you are just losing a life, even if it does not have to do with women, or especially with women, you need to watch this. You do. And even if you are winning in life, you know, still watch it, because it really is entertaining. It really is. Whether you're a man or woman, I think that you will get something out of this. Now, I will go ahead and address the one aspect, the one segment of this film that I did not like. And everybody may not feel the same way, but this was a bit cringy for me. And initially, while I was turned off by the red band, the rated R trailer. And that is sometimes a couple of these gentlemen do refer to women as the B word, bitches. And that just kind of rubs me the wrong way. I'm pretty sure they don't necessarily mean it in a derogatory sense, but it was a bit cringy for me, and I just didn't like it. Now, there's another critic out there that I was talking to, a woman, a female, and she was like, hey, B, what you watching? What you about to review? I said, hey, I just got done watching this Game Kings, the definition of the game, and I told her a little bit about it. And I mentioned that was one of the aspects that I didn't like. And, you know, she's a woman, a black woman. And she said, oh, yeah, I know I call women bitches sometimes too. So I know that sometimes, in some cases, women call women that. And, you know, it may be a plaything. But just for me, that small aspect, that segment did rub me the wrong way. I didn't like it. I don't refer to women that way, and that was initially what turned me off. And there was actually one guy, and out of the 7 gentlemen, including Mr. Lucario, there was one where I just didn't care for that much. For me, he just really didn't add anything to the film. I'm not saying that it's crap, but he just didn't add anything for me. And I was just, he actually, you know, wanted to expand on, like, he had a scene, this is why I call women bitches. And I was like, damn, okay. And so I just really wasn't feeling that.
Another thing that I wanted to note is Mr. Lucario had a number of reenactment scenes of dating within this documentary film, and they were done quite well. However, I just wish that there were more black people in these reenactment scenes. They had people from all walks of life and colors, but I just wish it was more black people.
But overall, I love this thing. You know, like it is something that I wouldn't mind watching again sometime if I just want to. I mean, I did enjoy it. You know, I had a bad taste in my mouth initially at the very beginning, but I ended up really enjoying it. And I think you will too. So if you've heard of Mr. Lucario, that is the name of his YouTube channel. You can go check it out. If you are interested in purchasing the film, you can go to mrlucario.com, and there it is right there. You can download it or maybe buy a copy and get it mailed to you. But there it is right there, guys. It is worth your time. All these gentlemen right here said they come from completely different walks of life, you know, but they do have a lot of valuable information that can help a lot of people, and I think you should check it out. But guys, that is just my opinion, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked the video, please give me that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and click around right here for any of my other videos. And guys, again, I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.